Hi, we are the N.A.S.A Horn Quartet from the Manhattan School of Music. My name is Addison. We have ASHTON, Nathan, and Sarah. And today we will be playing the third movement of Hindemith's Sonata for four horns.
Wowie, wowie. Nice to meet you guys. I'm David. Could you start off just by telling me your names? I got it in an email, but maybe just so everyone else can, just one more time.
I'm Addison Ashley.
I'm ASHTON SADY.
Okay.
I'm Nathan Page.
I'm Sarah Bell.
Okay. Wow. Well, how long have you been working on this?
So we've been working on this a little over a semester now.
Okay. The familiarity is off the charts. You guys know this piece. The ensemble is there's no question about where anybody is, and teachers love this in school. Whenever I get a group that just like comes in and like they lay it down, that means that we can talk about like the real in-depth stuff. So what do you say we just sort of walk through this section by section and just like kind of, I don't even want to say finishing touches because that was, recording worthy, but let's just see if we can find maybe some other angles to look at this and open it up a little bit. Before you start, since you're playing the lead on this, I'm curious what your character concept for this beginning statement is.
I would say just very singing, since it's based off the song "If I Sing My Horn" or however it is, and very, very broad.
Yeah, it's not a hymn if I understand correctly, but it is almost hymnal, right? Okay, well let's hear just a little bit of it. So you're making this very hard for me, but I have really absolutely no complaints, but I do have something that I do want you to try. The pulse is amazing. You're all very in line and it's very strict. What if you messed with it a little bit and sang a song, right? Like, what if you added a little bit more rubato within this fugue that is going on? Oftentimes when we see fugue, we think of Bach and we think of like a very sort of like rigid structure. We think of like, time going on pretty exactly, right? Because there is that sort of like, and even in Hindemith, there is that sort of like actually very concrete structure that we almost instinctively want to obey. And that affects our time a little bit. But what if we add a little bit of, I don't know, je ne sais quoi humanité, for lack of another word, to this phrasing? Can we try that? me put it another way. If there was broadening in the line, where would it happen? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you wanting that, and I want you to want it a little bit more. And actually, because the thing is, you guys all know this, and we're going to talk about this a lot throughout these variations. You all know this, so you have more liberty than you're taking, right? And I just want you to do the art thing a little bit more with this phrasing and trust. There's a lot of trust here. Okay. I feel like we're on to something a little bit, right? Okay. So yes, but not just you, everyone, right? And so when this comes into play with the counterpoint that we're getting in the fugue, I am missing a little bit of the response in the entrances of the sort of like non-leading voice parts. And it's not just the entrances, it's the same thing I was talking about. You have to kind of like make a conscious decision of like, well, what feels special to you about your part in this situation, and accentuate that, right? Like, I'm not talking about like accent, like don't suddenly start adding accents to this, but in terms of just like where you're adding bloom to your sound, the match is like incredible, and that actually is probably part of the reason I'm trying to hear things. But without talking too much about it, or without thinking too much about it, let's play for a little bit. And I want you to just make sort of like subjective decisions. Like if my part, I like it here, I'm going to bring it out a little bit more. I think this helps the beauty of the music. Okay? One more time. And I think we'll go a little bit further this time, just with that idea. Amazing. Okay. I especially liked when you came in, what was it, like 3 bars ago, with that low support, that low foundation. Really gave gravity to the situation. I don't think you can really do any wrong there. Now, so we've finished sort of like the opening statement. And again, back to sort of like the way that the time was just kind of marching on. I think here we can give closure to this statement. Nothing profound, but just actually as if you were to sing it or speak it naturally, I think is the right timing. If you don't know this, in school, we're constantly going, use your metronome, keep good time, subdivide. Oh my God, subdivide. Subdivide is like part of like the horn player's Bible. Yeah, and so like this is really sort of foundational to our teaching, and so now I have to stand here and go, actually, yes, do all that stuff, but it's there as a tool for you to start to break it apart and add your own interests and opinions to the music. So can we start just before this? Bar 4 is probably a good place, and then wrap up this phrase, and then I want the pickups to the next statement to come whenever it feels right. Yeah. Yes. 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 Sorry, I should bring this up with me actually. So this is the idea. Does this feel freeing? Okay, good. Yeah, no, music can feel like this, like all the time. Like we can do this with every piece that we're handed. Now, I love what you're doing into A. It's the same idea into the next statement. And sorry, horns 2 and 4 with this retard into bar 11. Lovely job. I want to ask you to risk it a little bit more for the, if I had to choose a word, this very last, well, the beginning of the very last statement, there's a resignation, right? And I think the sound that you're giving is one of a little bit too, it's a little bit too assured. So maybe risk it all, not all of it. Maybe risk like 98% of it to find sort of like this desperately resigned character. After we've shown a lot of glory, we've shown a lot of I don't know, almost pride in our sound before, and then at the end there's this sort of like I can't remember exactly. It's been so long since I've played this, but I feel like in the lyrics to this song, yes, there is that starting off, but at the end, there's something about like suffering, or if the hunt doesn't bring food, there's a doubt, and I think this is where that comes in, right? And so, when we get there, I want you to and use time as your friend, right? Wait for your sound to get to where it wants, because you're the only one playing for 3 beats there. Can we start, pick up to bar 9? We'll do this lovely ritenuto, and then I'm going to stop you for a second. I'm going to stop you. So we're going to talk horn technique just a little bit for a second. Excuse us. At the attack at the beginning of the statement that I was talking about, you had it, but then you sort of like you engaged in a way that kind of filled up, and I might even be asking you to play with bad technique right now. Is what I'm asking you to do. No, that's not what I'm asking you to do. Please keep a beautiful sound. But you played the F, and then you gave it more gas after you had it. But actually, where you attacked it was where I thought you should leave it. So actually, the phrasing of this extending into like these first 2 bars can actually be less, like almost the opposite of what I was talking about before, right? In terms of just like this broadening and confidence. Right, this can be kind of resigned and withheld, and really just like a pathetic. My words are failing me, but like not pathetic, but something like that, you know. Okay, one last time, and then we'll move on to another variation, I think. Yes. That am I the only? Everyone was there for that, right? Okay, good. Now, don't be fooled. And you've been rehearsing this for a while, so you know this already. But horns 3 and 4 come in at mezzo forte when we're at our resigned state. So this is almost like encouragement out of the blue, and so you have to come in like this is even just the way the line is. It's like this strong, like. Almost it feels Shostakovichian in a way, like it's like this, almost mechanical strength out of nowhere. That then encourages the line, right? We don't need to do that again, but I just wanted to point that out. And for the very end, can we do an exercise, actually? We are going to do this. Let's just take the last two, for the sake of time, let's take the last two bars. And before we get to the downbeat of the next bar, I want you in total control. So like you decide, out of time, and we're all just going to watch you for the downbeat of the very last bar, right? And this exercise is so that we get comfortable with this. Now do it wildly different. Yeah, just for kicks. Sad face. One more time. Okay, and now, very last time, do it the way that you would like it to go. I'm going to nitpick a little bit, just because you're doing this really well, so like I feel like I can just kind of go into it. Can this last chord be absolutely still and be at the resonance that you want it upon attack, so that we're getting just like an organ almost like chord, that there's no messing with anything at the beginning, like we just get right on that chord and it sits, okay? Did you cue it that time?
No, great.
Okay, yeah, and we still want the quiet dynamic, but it just needs to be very still, right? Yeah, I don't know if you like that. For this character, I really like that, where we get at the end and it's almost plagal. It feels like very just like now we've finished the hymn. Let's jump ahead a little bit to this muted section. You guys are like the ensemble at the beginning of the scherzando is really great, so I don't think we need to do anything with that. I'm gonna sit down now. Am I blocking anybody? Sorry. Oh, no, this is fine, thanks. So, just so you don't play this for no reason again, what I wanted to hear more of in this this movement, and also a little bit later, had to do with like these interjections and the relationship to the line. Sometimes I felt like this line, which is like this, I don't know, kind of pre-liggity kind of like thing that's going on, stole the show in a way, right? It's important when it starts, but after a while things get a little bit spicier, and I want to hear more of the textures aside from that. Okay, not. I guess in a way, like don't think that you need to just play them louder. They need more character. They need more contrast to this kind of linear thing that's going on. Okay, so let's just start at the beginning and. Okay, great. Great. Yes. Yes, that. So it's a very simple point, but I think it adds a lot to just sort of like the listening experience of it. I'm guessing that you've probably already done this exercise where the running eighth notes are all you play. Let's try it. If you can't remember, it was too long ago. So let's try it. Let's try it now, and where we just hear the running eighth notes. You can go slower if you want, and if it's a little bit wild to do right now.
So it's just us.
Yeah. So can it be more like one instrument? So try it. You're doing a good job of matching. I said that already, but I think you can. Let's make it one line. Okay. And let's try one last thing with this. Can you lean into the rhetoric of the tessitura a little bit, like a little bit less. And this is up to you for opinion, but I want to try to hear this without so much. It feels stoic almost. Like can it be a little bit more fluctuating with the line? Yeah. Okay. So, sorry to sing it today on Singled Out. I don't mean to single you two out. Was that more fun? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. I think I don't have any objection to you having fun. So, so I would do that a little bit more. Let's skip towards G. And I'm not sure to what extent this is possible, but I would like things to feel at that point actually quite crystalline and like still with this muted held note on top. So where's a good place to start before that? Is 88 an okay place for you? Just right on it, no pickup. Okay. The punctuations that I was asking for in the beginning with like the hit notes, can you dial those down? Probably like let's dial those down about 60%. And the reason I'm asking is because it seems a little bit too in our face, and I would like to give more of a spotlight to just like this kind of still line that's going on over it. Okay, let's just start right at G. That's fine. And so the same goes for the line, the running eighth notes. This is where we don't have as much inflection. It's in the shadows, okay? Fantastic. Okay, now let's make this transition. Let's make this transition. So maybe that wasn't a great place to start. How's 91? Is that okay? Yeah, I I really like that for this part. So part of this process is me just sort of going for what I want, which is a little bit selfish. But if you like it too, please have it. Yeah, and do that. Or else this particular variation sits in one sort of like place the whole time. It ends up being a little bit one-dimensional. So find places to really shift the character beyond just like the fortissimos and the piano, right? Let's look at the moderato variation. The comment that I had, and this is all under the umbrella that, like I said at the beginning, that this, are you performing this soon? Not for a while. Okay. Are you going to do the whole piece? Okay. Okay, awesome. N.A.S.A quartet. Is it going to be streamed?
Maybe. Haven't gone that far yet.
All right. Oh, yeah. Come on. Let us know. What else are you playing on the concert? Do you know?
We'll be playing some pieces from the Four Corners album, the Berlin Philharmonic Horn Quartet,
Nice.
for fun, and some Kerry Turner, I think Casbah, Fanfare for Barks.
You're playing Casbah, or did you get a teacher? Casbah is a quintet.
Yeah, we have
it's a very
another
well-
student at
Oh,
Manhattan
okay.
School playing with us. And what else? I think that's about it. We're doing like
Who's your coach, by the way?
the guy sitting behind you, Richard Dean.
Richard Dean.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Richard Dean. Richard Dean was my middle school and high school teacher. So we know each other. I may have known that he was coaching you. Yeah, the horn world is a very small world. Well, that's fantastic. You guys are very well coached. Let's we have about 10 minutes or so to fill in a couple more things. So, my comment for the moderato was sort of similar to the beginning. I would like for you, especially with the notes that are sort of visually arresting, like we have all these 16th notes. I bet if you asked an audience, they had no idea that you're looking at 16th notes, right? Like nobody knows that, because the notes are they're very legato, they're very luxurious, right? And I want to ask you, besides the fact that looking at them is sort of crazy, can you please treat them a little bit more vocally and with a little bit more care from note to note? One of the things that happens when we see a lot of sort of like faster denomination notes is that we kind of group them together and we look at them as sort of like an entire segment. And I want you to not be notey, but like really care for each passing note a little bit more. Can we start right on that? We don't need to go right from the beginning. Can we start at I? Okay. Yeah. It already feels so like I don't want to even suggest that like this made it like somehow more valuable in a way, but now it feels to me, listening to you play it this way, it feels like you actually have control to do things with it now, because so beyond you just like kind of caring for each passing note, now you can actually like shape these little passing phrases, however you want, similarly to what I was talking about in the beginning. So let's try that a little bit. I'll let you go a little bit further. Because you all know each other's part really well already, there's room for this, right? Like, if you decide to stretch or push, it's no big deal. And that's all of you, right? Okay. Yeah. 'Cause I mean, sympathetically, I'm feeling like you feel like you have a little bit more control over just like the passage of things in that, like sort of observing it this way, like while you play, right? Thinking of it that way. Am I right? Right. Oh, okay, cool. One thing in the, what is it, in the third horn, and then I think later in the fourth horn that happens, these the eighth notes, I would try, we don't need to do this now, but I would try actually like with less space after the eighth notes, because right now it feels but what if you tried to make a line out of this, what is not very linear phrase, like, you know, and you really sort of connect it a little bit more. I think that might help. Well, it might lend itself to the character that you're already achieving there, right? Okay, let's play a little bit of fast notes, and then I think we'll be out of time. By the way, your transitions are amazing, especially in this movement that we're about to do. Like, really great work. Yeah, easy job and hard job for the coach. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like I said, it's really wonderful. I want to play with it a little bit though. And speaking of like being playful, this beginning, I wonder if it could be a little bit sillier. You don't even really have to change anything about how you're playing. You just like be sillier in your head while you're doing it. You know what I mean? And then before M, can we make this more of a shout chorus? So like really throw caution to the wind there, out of nowhere. Try it again. So start off silly and then really go for it. Yeah. So I would say that this set everyone in the room actually up for like a more exuberant experience actually. And that shout course, yeah. Chef's kiss. Like please keep that. All the rest is really just sort of like stuff you already know, and maybe I've been saying stuff you already know. But in any case, it really sounds great. It's a pleasure to work with you. Thank you so much for being game for this.